Hello, everyone, and welcome. Governor Adeleke is the elected governor in Osun State. It is in the news everywhere. Now, let's talk about how hustlers can make money from the concluded Osun State governorship election. That is what I want to tell you today because in everything that we do, I want to look at opportunities that exist for you to be able to have a better life. The conclusion of the Osun State governorship election has exposed a troubling reality in Nigeria's democracy. Elections have become temporary marketplaces in which politicians spend heavily while ordinary citizens search for short-term relief. Although the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) declared Ademola Adeleke the winner with 511,067 votes. The election was widely accompanied by allegations of vote buying and voter inducements. Those are allegations. In fact, APC currently they are still saying that we no go gree, we no go gree. But that is not my business. For many hustlers, commercial motorcyclists, food vendors, event workers, media creators, artisans, transport operators, and small traders, the election may appear to offer a rare opportunity to make money. But the important question is not whether citizens should benefit from election-related economic activity. It is whether they can do so legally, ethically, and without becoming tools in a corrupt political system. In this place, I teach you how to make money legitimately. Now, let me tell you about the election economy. Report from Osun described alleged cash payments ranging from 10,000 to 20,000 to voters before and during the election. Other observers reported the distribution of food, drinks, and cash, with one civil society account alleging that payments could reach 50,000 per vote in some cases. All these are allegations and they are available online. You can go and verify them. I don't know. That is not what I'm talking about. Those are just statistics that I just need to mention. Those are not my business still. This created a temporary economy involving transporting party supporters to campaign venues and polling areas, printing posters, handbills, banners, and branded clothing. Apart from this, supplying food, bottled water, and drinks. Also, we have those who are providing sound systems, chairs, canopies, and generators. Some people were producing political videos, photographs, and live streams. Some were also involved in coordinating campaigns, meetings, and grassroots mobilization. So, in all these, how can you make money? The danger is that this economy can easily cross the line from legitimate service provision into vote buying, intimidation, misinformation, or the concealment of illegal payments. As I've said, any kind of illegality or allegations are not my business. What concerns me and what I want to tell you about are legitimate ways to earn. Legitimate ways to earn. Hustlers can benefit from elections without selling votes or participating in fraud. The most sustainable opportunities are in supplying services that campaigns and civic groups genuinely need. And one of them is transport services. People need to move from their homes to where they are going to vote. They need to move from where they are voting to where they are going to count the votes. We are going to submit everything and every other place. Commercial drivers and motorcycle operators can earn from transporting campaign workers, journalists, observers, and voters who require lawful mobility assistance. They should agree on fares in advance, keep simple records, and avoid transporting weapons, thugs, or people involved in disrupting polling. So this election have come and gone, but more elections are coming in 2027, so people should get prepared to be able to do some kind of business, legal business. A driver who treats politics as a short-term business opportunity rather than a license for misconduct is more likely to retain customers after the election. Another kind of business that you can do to make money is food and logistics. Caterers, cooks, farmers, water sellers, and petty traders can supply food and refreshments for meetings, press conferences, and party offices. The opportunity is especially important for women and young people who already operate small food businesses. Then, the ethical boundary is clear. Selling food is legitimate. Distributing food in exchange for proof of voting for a particular candidate is not. Apart from this, printing and branding. Wow. During election, printing and branding is a good deal. Even if you're not a printer, you can get the contract and take it to the printing press and they'll get things done for you. Printers, graphic designers, tailors, and sign writers can earn from producing campaign materials. They can also build portfolios that later attract contracts from schools, churches, businesses, civil society, organizations, and government agencies. However, producers should reject materials that contain false allegations, hate speech, threats, or manipulated images. The election may end, but defamatory defamatory content can create legal and reputational consequences. Now, apart from this that I've already mentioned, another one or way you can make money during this election is, or any other election, is digital media. Young people with smartphones and editing skills can provide photography, live streaming, video editing, and social media management. The election demonstrated the demand for fast political content, but it also showed how quickly unverified claims can spread. So that is another thing that you can do to make money during an election without being corrupt. A responsible political content creator should label allegations as allegations. You understand? When there's an allegation, don't say it is true. It's an allegation. You state it as allegation. Then verify videos, dates, and locations before publishing. Avoid fabricated results and misleading captions. Refuse payment for coordinated disinformation. Preserve evidence of who commissioned published material. So by doing this, you retain your integrity and you do more to help the polity. This is more than an ethical preference. A reputation for accuracy can become a market advantage in future elections and commercial media work. So it's not just a one-day thing. Now, let's talk about the dangerous hustles. There's a dangerous hustles during elections and in politics. The most tempting election-related income often carries the greatest risks. Allegations of vote buying in Osun State prompted calls for investigation and prosecution of finances and organizers. So all these are all this information are online and they are verifiable. So based on this, you as a hustler, you should avoid selling or surrendering your voter cards. Don't sell your voter cards. Don't surrender your voter card because it is your right to vote and to vote for whoever you want to vote for. Avoid collecting money in exchange for a promise to vote for a candidate. Photographing a ballot to prove how they voted. Avoid acting as agent for vote buying. Avoid registering multiple voters or falsifying election documents. Avoid spreading fake results to influence public opinion. Hiding cash or materials used for electoral bribery. Joining groups created to intimidate voters or corrupt polling. All these should be avoided and should not be allowed in whatever you're doing. The argument that politicians have money, so civilians should collect it, is understandable in a poor economy, but it does not remove the legal or political consequences. Vote buying can turn